Hey guys, welcome to another video on May in Bloom, a place where I try to share the many ways I have found to live a more holistic, kinder, intentional, and encouraging life. Today I would really love to talk about a topic that's really close to my heart, the joys and value that I have found from working from home as an introverted and highly sensitive person. I would first like to clarify that I'm someone who tries to approach modern work as a way of simply making a livelihood and not as a key part of my identity/purpose in life. I am not a corporate career girly by any means. I try my best to navigate the corporate world in a way that brings me closer to more freedom, autonomy, alignment, and time for people, things, a lifestyle I value, and safety to pursue the work I see as my real soul work/life-giving work. My goal since the beginning has been to slowly and intentionally work towards sustaining myself, mostly if not entirely, on life-giving and fulfilling work. And I'm still in pursuit of that and getting closer and closer each time, so I'm happy with that progress. But anyway, this is a journey I think is unique to all of us in the different degrees of opportunities and privileges available to us. When the pandemic hit, I had just recently started working in Lisbon. My workplace was in a big building on a floor that was open planned, of course, and apart from my little cubicle/corner, I was surrounded by many people, noises, and harsh light constantly. The orders to work from home for safety found me in a little studio in the center of Lisbon, in quietness and more calmness than I had ever imagined to associate with working an office job. Apart from the uncertainty of a rapidly changing world, my own personal little world had opened up a new possibility I did not think would be available to me for many more years to come. The ability to work from home in my own little corner of the world. Transitioning to working from home has been a transformative experience for many, but for introverts and highly sensitive individuals, navigating a world designed for constant interaction and stimuli, it's proven to be nothing short of a lifeline. As I dipped my toes into this newfound possibility, it dawned on me that I had stumbled upon the perfect way to earn a living in a way that was kinder to my overall well-being. So fast forward 4 years into remote working, and there are many aspects that I have come to genuinely appreciate about working from home as an introvert and highly sensitive person. In a fast-moving world, commuting to and from work used to be one of the most frustrating parts of my work mornings. Leaving during morning rush hours, and whether on public transport or biking to work, the energy always felt gloomy, anxious, hectic, and infectious. I often felt stressed and overwhelmed before even starting my workday. But now, since working from home, I get to wake up and be able to spend my pre-work hours or time not commuting but slowly getting ready, setting the mood of my space, self-care as needed. I get to set and manage my mood and energy for the day before logging on to work. A whole different way of starting a day, a work week than I was used to when I had to show up in an office space. We do not all thrive in the same environment/conditions. While work is already challenging, for many of us it is often the environments and conditions we are made to work in that leave us with nothing left at the end of the workday. Since this is the only way we've known since we were young, many of us learn to just accept the dreadfulness as the norm and only way to exist in society. Whether during my school days or work days, I hated feeling like that I was just surviving it all until the end of the week. I love the possibility of creating my own peaceful work environment, void of the usual noisy office chatter or distracting constant movements of co-workers. I find it much easier to focus on my work when I'm sitting in a quiet space without too much external stimuli. Whenever I have the extra bandwidth and I am craving a bit more interaction, I love that I have the option to work at a cafe as a treat. But honestly, most of the time, in my own element, I always prefer to work at home or somewhere that gives off a comforting, calming atmosphere. In general, I just love that I get to choose what feels right for me on a daily basis. Being someone who's really influenced by their surroundings, this is so valuable for me. I'm able to concentrate on the tasks at hand without constantly juggling external stimuli and work stress all day long. Having control over those small stuff, like noise level, the lighting, the energy around me, the temperature, makes such a huge difference in the kind of work-life quality I now get to explore more of. It is truly the little things that make the big impact, like being able to burn some essence or use some aromatherapy, being able to take a little nap in your own bed during your break or when needed, to enjoy the space you call home more than just when you are off from work, to wear what I feel comfortable wearing or change when needs to change, being able to put on some laundry if needed so I will have more free time when I'm done working, the possibility of getting to spend more time with the people I love and who love me. All of these small but very important things really impact the quality of life that I feel I'm able to access. I think as a Black woman already, there's a lot of things in the general or often workspace that can feel like it's draining more than maybe the average work person in an environment that is predominantly white. All of these things can by themselves be often very overwhelming to certain groups of people in society. However, I feel like office small talk, group meetings, deciding when or where to have lunch and with who can also be exhausting for introverts and highly sensitive people. Working from home minimizes these social demands, the need to be hypervigilant, to look out for microaggressions, allowing me to conserve my energy for tasks that truly matter at my work. While there's still a few online meetings here and there, the social demand or the need to engage in work politics is much less when working remote. Virtual meetings and communications, of course, give me the opportunity to communicate and interact with colleagues, but without the draining aspect of face-to-face interaction throughout the entire day. All of those little things really make a difference in how much energy I can preserve throughout my working day, and I really appreciate that. I feel truly grateful for myself and other fellow introverts and highly sensitive people that there are now far more opportunities to work in our own and chosen environments than we had before the pandemic. The corporate world for many is an insufferable aspect of modern life, and finding ways to preserve one's life force and make a living is a dream come true for many of us. Finding a way to work that aligns with one's intrinsic needs to not only survive but thrive is such a beautiful blessing. I feel like the digital age is a perfect space for people like me, because there is more options for us to create our own way of living, and there's more ways and more accepted or slowly getting accepted ways of existing that give more space for people like me, and I truly appreciate being born in a time where that is possible. I think one part that also felt very tiring in having to work in an office is all the time that is not compensated that you also dedicate to getting ready for work. From what time you wake up to what time you go to bed to the food you have to prepare if you take lunch with you. And I think that when you don't have to work from an office and you get to work from home, I love that you get to reclaim all that unpaid time back. When I'm off work, I'm actually off work. I can log on exactly when I need to start work or just a few minutes before. My work time doesn't have to start an hour or depending on how much you have to commute before I have to actually be at work. And then there's all the exhaustion that would go into having to go to an office, interact in the social commotion of office life that I would have to recover from as soon as I got home, which was a bigger degree than I have now. There's still elements of that because work is still demanding on you mentally, even if you do it in your own home. But I really like the fact that I don't have to use more time after work just processing and decompressing from work than I had to do when I had to commute, to engage in the traffic jams or the rush hours, to engage in the social interactions. All of those things as an introverted and highly sensitive person, they would also demand more time for me, even in my weekends, to recover from before I had to do it all again. It saved me so much time, and I feel like that's kind of also saved me time that is invaluable, that is precious, that I get to use in different ways, that I get to use on other aspects and parts of my life that are just as important as making a good livelihood. So that's another thing I really appreciated, that I get to save so much time and that I only literally have to put in the hours that I'm paid to work and not overcompensate for all the things I need to do to surviving work. I love that there are more spaces now where you can get more autonomy. And I would even add just a way that allows for other people who do not fit into how the corporate world is designed and office life is designed to live more fulfilling and dignified lives. I'm just really, really grateful that that's an opportunity. And ever since I started working from home, I've had several different jobs in the 4 years, but what has remained constant and almost a non-negotiable at this point is that I have to be able to work from home, because I know that I thrive much better. And I think maybe it's also making up for the years as a student, as during studies, like where you had no choice. But I'm just grateful that this is a possibility, and I'm grateful that it's so much more socially accepted worldwide. And I think there'll be more and more opportunities like that going forward. I love it for the extroverts that there's still options for hybrids or for people to meet in office, but I love that it's maybe for more companies in the future it will become a choice and not the only way to do things. I'm so grateful for that to change, at least. If you are also an introvert and a highly sensitive person, or just one of the two, please do share how you have navigated the need to make a living in a way that respects your needs as an introvert or and HSP. Do you feel that you found a way to thrive and not just survive? And if not, what are you planning to do about that? Or what are your ideas of navigating that? Or what makes you feel stuck in where you currently are and how you currently have to make a living? Otherwise, as always, I hope and pray that life is kind to your sensitive and kind souls, that you never stop finding ways to carve a way of living where who you are is appreciated and respected and honored. Take good care of yourselves, and I will speak to you and see you in my next video. Bye!
So whether music or madness, we live by one of the two, by one of the two. So go on, fill your heart up with gladness, not a moment too soon.